mostly we think of men as farmers. Well, I'd like to look at this picture, well, two pictures. This is my great aunt. Today I'd like to honor my great aunt because I don't think I've ever met a woman who has worked as hard and loved her family as much as she did. To start off, I grew up listening to stories about my family, about the importance of education, and stories about her life as she grew up. When I was little, I never got the chance to meet my grandfather, which was her brother, but she made sure that I knew what he had done. He was the only person in our family to ever have been in the military, but what amazed me more was how she talked about her family. She came from a really big family. She had 6 brothers and sisters, but even at such an old age, the way she talked about them, she absolutely adored everybody. And that kind of fostered the relationship that I wanted with my siblings when I grew up. As we got older, she started talking more and more about education. She herself, when she came from India, she went to Clovis Adult School, and that's how she learned how to speak English. She would point to her own grandchildren who, when I was little, they were graduating from Ivy League schools and had just been admitted into law school. So early on, she made sure that we knew the importance of education because without it, we wouldn't be as successful. And lastly, she told us about her life growing up. When she was just in the 8th grade, her family married her off, but her marriage ended very quickly. So when she went back to live with her family, she felt very embarrassed because of the cultural norms back then. And when she was 23, many times she had wanted to just commit suicide because she didn't want to live anymore. But an elderly man came from America and he asked for her hand in marriage. So that's how she came to America. And even when she came here, she didn't just become a housewife. She joined her husband in the fields and she worked with them side by side. And since he was much older than her, as they had kids, she was the father figure and the mother figure for them. So she worked on the farms, she came home, she cooked, she cleaned. And then once she became a citizen, she realized that she wanted the rest of her family to have the same opportunities as she did. So she invited her entire family. And in the end, that comes out to be like more than 100 people because she had 6 brothers and sisters who were all married and they're in-laws and they had kids too. So in the end, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. So my great aunt was she's one of my role models, and I hope one day I could just be as successful and hardworking as her. I'd like to end with one of her favorite quotes, which is by Mark Twain, and it says, "Why not go out on a limb, because that's where the fruit is."